like, you know what? Let me check this out. Let me test it out. I personally like a lot of grain in my image because I feel like that's what distinguishes digital from film. And Ektar has always been branded as the world's finest grain. And I'm just like, I don't need fine grain. I want as much grain as possible. I want as much of the film look as possible, right? So why would I be shooting the world's finest grain if I want a lot of grain? But today, for some reason, I'm like, you know what? Let me check this out. Let me shoot with this Ektar 100. And spoiler alert, the pictures came out great. Anyways, on to Niagara Falls. Once we got there, once we were settled, I had my trusty assistant help me load some film, get ready, and we were all set to shoot at Niagara Falls. And on the day we decided to go, the day was a beautiful sunny day. We had a lot of light, a lot of people because the Americans were coming over. On the Canadian side, on Clifton Hill, when we decided to go at Niagara Falls, this is one of the most touristy places in the world. You've got mazes, you've got haunted houses, and you have a go-karting speedway. I personally love go-karting. And if you're ever in this area, if you ever want to go karting with me, hit me up and I'll beat you up. I'll beat you in go karting. But the first place we went to was go karting, and sorry, baby, sorry, Melissa. You know, me and Lanny took the dub that day. The go karting speedway here in Niagara Falls has this nice hill that you come down off of, and on the last stretch, coming down the hill, we took the dub, we took the win. And, you know, the rest is history. Yeah, so once we were done at the go-karting ring, we made our way down to the falls as we normally do. And the tourist in me came out. Like, at Niagara Falls, depending on where you're standing, depending on the light, depending on the camera you have with you, depending on the film stock you have with you, you get a different shot of the falls every single time. Right? The Americans don't get a good view of the falls, but on the Canadian side, you get to see both of the falls. And the pictures that I got today, I think are probably some of the best pictures of the falls I've ever gotten. And that brings me to the first thing I noticed, which I'm going to be talking about a little later in this video. I love the saturation in these photos. I love the way the grain structure interacts with the photos. And I also love the way it represents the skin tones. And I'm going to be diving a little deeper, as I said, later on. But once we were done at the falls, we made our way back up Clifton Hill. And we made our way across the stores. And if there's one thing I always tell people about going to Niagara Falls, is that you have to go with some money. You can't just go thinking, I'm going to spend like $50. Nah, if you're going with family especially, you got to be willing to spend like $200 to $300 Canadian to have some good fun and to have a good time. And we made our way across some stores. We definitely haven't been in a couple of years, so I didn't even remember some of the stores that were out there. We went to a haunted house. We hit up the Frankenstein haunted house. We got some ice cream first of all. Definitely got to get ice cream. And then we hit up the Frankenstein haunted house. And I'm not one to shy away from a haunted house because your boy's not scared of anything. But I had to take some pictures this time, so I couldn't be out there. I couldn't be out there getting scared and stuff. We made our way up to the top and we went on a roller coaster, which is really, really cool. And I got some photos out there. We had some fun out there. My daughter got to scream a little bit. And the guy out there was really, really funny because he made it seem like the roller coaster was stuck, which, if you're on it, not really fun because I wasn't on it, so it was funny. And then after that, we hit up some stores and then we made our way home. And now to talk about Ektar. The images that came out of this film stock, I wasn't expecting it, right? I want to talk about three main things. I want to talk about the saturation, first of all. The saturation and the representation of colors that came out of this film stock really shocked me. I was not expecting it. I wasn't expecting this film stock to look as good as it did. The colors came out looking really vibrant. The colors came out looking really good. The reds, I didn't realize how much reds were in Niagara Falls, but there's a lot of reds. I don't know if it's a Canada thing, but the reds came out looking really good. The greens came out looking really good. And just the overall color depth was just a little bit surprising. It's more saturated, definitely, than other film stocks out there. So that's something definitely to look out for if you're shooting Ektar for the first time. And then also the next thing is the grain structure. I personally like a lot of grain in my images, but with this film stock, the grain is fine, but it's still present. It's not digital. It's definitely not digital, but it's not as grainy as other film stocks. It gives you a certain feel, it gives you a certain grain structure, a certain grain pattern that you don't get with any other film stock. And this is something that gives it a unique Ektar feel. Now, I don't know necessarily how to explain it, but take a look at the images, take a deep dive into them, and see what you think about it. I'm going to put a link down below to my blog. I'm going to be posting all of the pictures on here for you to check out, so you can take a deeper dive into it. Filmstockreal.com. Check out the description down below for links to the website. And the third thing I want to talk about was the skin tone representation. Whenever I'm shooting a film stock, I always want to see how it represents skin, because some film stocks add green, add some magenta, add some colors to the skin tones that don't necessarily make it look nice. But with this particular film stock, I feel like it gave a pretty accurate representation of what the skin actually looks like. And this is definitely something that I'm going to be taking on in later videos. I'm going to be taking a deeper dive into what Ektar does to skin tones. I'm not sure if it was just this environment, I'm not sure it was just this camera or the way the light was hitting the image. I'm going to be doing a more deeper test into how Ektar hits skin tones, especially melanated skin, and I'm going to be talking more about that later on, so stay tuned for more. So yeah, those are the three main things I noticed from this film stock. Let me know what you think about Ektar down in the comment section below. If you shot Ektar before, what do you like about it? If you haven't before, why not shoot it? Are you going to try it out? Let me know. And that brings us to the end of this video. If this video has brought you any value, please make sure you hit that like button and definitely subscribe to my channel, as this goes a long way to making sure I produce more content like this. Until next time, make sure you stay safe, make sure you shoot film, and I'll see you in the next video, man. Right now, I'm just going to go check out this sunrise and get some beautiful shots. And yeah, have some fun out here. It's pretty early, and I got to get to work, so I won't be out here for too long. Everyone that came out here with me when I first got here is already gone. And these ducks or seagulls already are just like, get out of our space. So I'm going to be just shooting and making my way home. Anyways, bye.